Well, Dario, we know you guys love a derby, and it's probably more high stakes than ever, really, right? Top four derby clash. Could it get much bigger?
Yeah, look, yes. Exciting game, one we're really looking forward to. I think we always look forward to that one. Always look at it when the fixtures are released. So, I think it's not just us, the fans, football in general. Everyone enjoys a derby, and it shapes up to be a really big game this weekend.
Looks like Jules, you getting back? Is that right? And any other injury news? Players you getting back? Players you're losing?
Not losing anyone, and Jules will be back. Yes, that's a big plus for us. And yeah, so she's been training really well. Looks like herself again. So, really excited to have her back as well.
Just not losing anybody, Dario, but how have the players pulled up after having to play in sweltering conditions on the weekend?
We looked after them, so they had the day off, and then the first 2 days were a little bit less, just because of the conditions and the heat, and that would have taken a big toll on them. And we do still have smaller numbers, so we had to be cautious. So the first few days were just we were out there, but a little bit more recovery based and tactical. So yeah, we tried to look after them, and then we've picked it back up in the back end of the week.
Obviously, big win in the context of your season against the Jets. When you've gone back and looked at that, what are the things that you really want to be building on and taking to even more greater levels against victory?
Look, I think there were a lot of positives. I think we controlled the game. We nullified most of their threats. We created a lot more chances. Probably could have scored a few more goals, and that's probably the tale of our season a little bit, where we're always having that sort of discussion where we just haven't probably been clinical enough sometimes in front of goal. But we limit them. I think we almost got caught once in transition with Serena. She had caught us in behind, so that's something we're constantly working on, looking at. So we know Victory have a similar threat in Gelnick. So they look for her a lot in that transition moment where she's very dangerous. And we'll prepare. We take a lot of confidence from last time when we met. I think we were the totally dominant team over the 90 minutes. And but it's another outing. I know Jeff's a good coach. He'll adapt from that one. He'll have them prepared. I know his players are going to be ready. We're going to be ready. So we're ready for Sunday.
How much bigger a test is it this time, though, Dario? I think it's 13 goals in their last three games. They actually seem to be clicking now, whereas earlier in the season they seemed all a bit disjointed and out of sorts. They're a Victory in form now. So I imagine it's a great test.
Yeah, they are. Look, they got fantastic players, dangerous ones in all areas. So, we know what we have to be aware of, and we also know where we can hurt them. So we'll still play our style. I think we'll looking at the last few games, I think they're sort of a little bit more, allowing teams to have the ball and then looking to play maybe a little bit more on that transition and use the weapons that they have up front for that. So look, we're prepared. We're ready. We played similar every single week where teams, we face all 11 players just outside their 18-yard box a lot of the time. So it's a little bit different for us when we analyze. We don't get to see really another team how they manage against that. But we've learned a few things over the last few weeks, especially the game with Adelaide, and we're confident. We're confident.
Bit of emotion in this game as well, Dario. You would have obviously seen Emma Checker retiring was such a key part of what you guys did for a long time. Last time she'll face your players, I imagine it's as much as the rivals, it's a pretty special player who was, captain, championship player, all that sort of stuff. And there must be a bit of emotion out there this weekend.
Look, it's one for the players. We'll have to try keep our emotions in check. It's obviously a very emotional day with the derby, and the tension of the week and the tension of the day, and obviously what's at stake for both teams at the moment as well. But we acknowledge everything that Emma's achieved at the club. She was the captain, and you just mentioned the stuff that she's achieved. I think she was part of the undefeated season. So she's had a great career here, and we wish her all the best in retirement. But our plan is we'll give her the guard of honor, and then after that it's business as usual.
Dario, you mentioned before the threat of Emily Gielnik in behind, like Serena Bolden on the weekend. But Gielnik right now, I think she's probably the most physically dominant attacker in the entire competition. Like the strength that she has besides her speed. When your defenders are coming up against somebody like that can outmuscle them as well as outrun them, how do you get them to defend against someone like that?
I'm guessing you'll be there on Sunday, Joey, so you'll see on Sunday.
And just one in your attack, Dario, how pleasing was it to see a Briley Henry on the weekend with those two really good positions for Leah's ball and set up Hannah pretty perfectly both times. I imagine after a frustrating injury and form run for her, that's exactly what you would have wanted to see.
Yeah, look, she's been excellent. It took her a little bit of time. She unfortunately suffered a bit of a knee injury in our preseason, so missed a good chunk there and a vital chunk in that preseason. That's where you build your foundation for the upcoming season. So it took her a little bit of time, but the last few weeks she's been training very, very well. Performed on the weekend very, very well. So, we're really pleased with her and it's also great to see. So we hope for another big performance from her on the weekend. And, I think she's ready to get out there as well.
Dario, we saw the young Tillies. They lost to Japan the other night. And I think they've got the third place game coming up now. But have you been given any indication about exactly when they'll be landing? And are you putting in place plans for how you'll integrate them back into the side?
Look, I think they'll arrive back on Monday, I believe I was told. So they'll be back in after this game. And then, look, we'll assess them. We'll obviously see after the last game. Hopefully they win, firstly, and they secondly get through it injury-free. And that's not just our girls. I think that's for all the girls there, that everyone returns to their club in good health and that everyone can finish off the season proper. And then we'll assess them there. We'll obviously take into account the game on the weekend and in preparation for next week's game, and then we'll field what I believe is the best 11 for next week. But for now, just focus is on Sunday, as their focus is on that third place to win against Korea again. Hopefully the pitch is in better conditions than the first time they met, and then after that we're looking forward to welcoming them back as well.
Just one off-field thing, Dario, I'm sure you would have seen the disappointing is it sounds like there's allegedly a racist slur in the Jets game the other day. I guess how disappointing was it? We've seen both clubs put out statements.
Sorry, what was the question to that? Sorry,
Sorry, I don't know if I cut out.
Sorry,
Dario. Just the Jets and City have both put out statements saying there was allegedly a racist slur directed towards one of the Jets players the other day. I guess just how disappointing is it that this is still happening at games?
Look, firstly, we stand firmly against that. So not just the games, but in any walk of life, that should never occur. So it doesn't matter if it's a football game or a tennis or going out to the movies, going out to a restaurant. People, and I don't want to say players. Everyone should be respected and that's definitely not tolerated. I'm not too sure. I was completely on the other side, and so I've not heard anything. The players, I've asked a couple. Once it all became out that something may have occurred, and they also said unfortunately they didn't hear anything. But we hope that nothing like that has occurred. As you said, it's at the moment the FA is investigating, and they're investigating it thoroughly. I know a couple of our girls were called in, so they're asking and rightly so that they are looking into it. But it's just simply it can't be accepted if it did happen. So everyone should be welcome to come to a football game. As a player, as a spectator, regardless, whoever comes, as the volunteers on the day, staff, everyone should come in. It should be a fun day, to go out to go watch or play or coach or be part of something we all love. We're all there because we love the game, not just the players. I think, everyone. So, it should be more of a sort of a family feel, even though it might be two teams competing against each other. But if we break it down, we're all there for something that we love, and that's a game of football.